The Indian Army foiled an infiltration attempt by Pakistan-based terrorists when it engaged and injured an intruder on the line of control. The 32-year-old intruder, Tabarik Hussain, was shot in the thigh and shoulder, captured alive, and admitted to an army hospital. The security forces had received input about an infiltration bid and now are questioning the arrested terrorist on the grander plan. They also launched a more extensive cordon and search operation to flush out other intruders, if any. The Indian Army, in a joint operation with Jammu and Kashmir Police, busted an underground tunnel in the Wachi area of Zainapura village in Jammu and Kashmir's Shopian district. Further raids in the Poonch district to flesh out a hawala or money laundering racket led to the arrest of Abdul Hamid Mir and Mohammad Yasin. They were routing money to major terror organizations like the Lashkar-e-Taiba and Al-Badr.
Chinese ambassador to Moscow, Zhang Hanhui, praised his country's relationship with Russia, saying that the two countries were the pillars of the BRICS formulation. Writing a guest opinion piece for Russia's TASS news agency, he pointed out that the BRICS countries make up 42% of the world's population and account for 25% of the global economy. BRICS is a grouping of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. In the last 6 months, the grouping tried a BRICS Plus format, inviting other countries to participate and converse with the 5 permanent members. During various BRICS Plus events, 50 countries and the leaders of 13 non-BRICS states participated. BRICS has expanded initiatives to include economic digitization, technology sharing, and innovation. China, and recently Russia, want to take BRICS to strengthen their strategic cooperation opposing hegemony and contribute to the establishment of real multilateralism. India has opposed moves with BRICS to target the US and NATO and moves within the Quad to target China and Russia.
India's Uttar Pradesh state arrested 5 young Muslim men for molesting Hindu girls participating in the yearly Dahi Handi event in Aligarh. When those present resisted the molesting, the perpetrators withdrew to come back with a mob to drag 3 Hindu boys into a nearby mosque and beat them up mercilessly. They greeted a rescue party with stone pelting. Police detachments reached the spot and arrested those harassing the women and filed cases against 12 more. Some of the accused fled the scene.
German Bundesbank or Federal Bank President Joachim Nagel told Rheinische Post that his country is about to see the worst inflation in decades.
An inflation rate of even 10% is possible in the autumn months. Double-digit inflation rates were last measured in Germany more than 70 years ago. The issue of inflation will not go away in 2023 since supply bottlenecks and geopolitical tensions are likely to continue. As the energy crisis deepens, a recession appears likely next winter.
Last month, gas supplies to the EU via Nord Stream 1 had already dropped to 20% of the maximum level. Russia's Gazprom will stop the flow for 3-day maintenance works between 31st August and 2nd September. Meanwhile, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, who heads a traffic light coalition, saw his approval rating drop to 25%, the lowest since he took office in December 2021.
The United Kingdom's National Health Service Confederation warned the Chancellor of the Exchequer that the country is facing a humanitarian crisis.
The country is facing a humanitarian crisis. Many people could face the awful choice between skipping meals to heat their homes and having to live in cold, damp and very unpleasant conditions. This, in turn, could lead to outbreaks of illness and sickness around the country and widen health inequalities, worsen children's life chances, and leave an indelible scar on local communities. Health leaders are clear that unless urgent action is taken by the government, this will cause a public health emergency.
Experts say that energy costs for the average household in Britain is set to rise to more than £4,200 or $4,960 per year from January 2023. It was £1,400 or $1,653 last year.
A Rasmussen poll showed a 44% of Americans lost confidence in the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, after the agency raided former US President Donald Trump's residence. About 29% of Americans said the raid increased their faith in the agency, and 25% had no opinion. However, 53% of respondents and 34% strongly agreed with Trump advisor Roger Stone's statement that politicized thugs at the top of the FBI are using the agency as Joe Biden's personal Gestapo. About 35% of the respondents disagreed with Stone's observation. Of the respondents, 76% of Republicans and 37% of Democrats agreed with Stone's characterization. The FBI raid of Trump's residence on 8 August aimed to recover 11 different sets of classified materials that the Democrats say Trump took with him when he remitted office. Trump has accused the FBI of knowingly and illegally removing personally sensitive documents. Trump's lawyers were not allowed to oversee the search. The FBI shut down all closed-circuit cameras.
India, the second largest gold importer in the world, imported 6.4% more gold between April and July, valued at $12.9 billion. During the same period last year, the country imported $12 billion worth of gold. This import surge contributed to a record trade deficit of $30 billion in the first 4 months, compared to $10.63 billion between April and July 2021. Consequently, the country's current account deficit was at 1.2% of GDP compared to a surplus of 0.9% in the previous fiscal year. While the gold import did worsen the problem, the real culprit affecting the trade deficit is low-impact goods such as Chinese toys.
If you like this content, please press the like button and share it with your family and friends. Please consider subscribing to this channel. It is free. Press the bell icon to receive notifications about new content.